Have you ever really stopped to think about the words we use for our everyday rituals? I mean, not just for regular conversation, but for those special things we do, like marking a fresh start, treating ourselves, or celebrating. Well, today, we're going to decode that secret language. It's the one that ties together everything from a New Year's resolution all the way to a surprise at a hotel. So, let's just dive right in.
All right, let's kick things off with a bit of a puzzle. What on earth could a promise you make to yourself have in common with checking into a hotel? I know, it sounds totally random, right? But the answer is actually pretty cool. It's a specific shared language. It's almost like a script that we all follow, a lot of the time without even noticing. So let's start exploring that script.
First up, we're going to start with one of the most universal rituals out there, the promise of a fresh start. This is all about the very particular language we pull out when we decide, you know what, it's time for a change.
And right at the heart of this whole thing is the New Year's resolution. Now think about that for a second. We don't usually just call it a New Year's goal, do we? Nope. By calling it a resolution, we're kind of framing it as this super serious promise to ourselves. We're tapping into that powerful collective feeling of a fresh start, a totally clean slate.
And it almost always starts with this exact line, right? This year, I resolve to. That word resolve, that's the key. It's not just, I'm going to try. It means to decide firmly to make a real, serious commitment. It's a moment that's just packed with so much hope and all the best intentions.
But then, well, life happens, doesn't it? Just think about that shiny new yoga mat or that set of weights you were so excited about in January. Where is it now? Probably sitting in a corner, gathering dust. What a perfect phrase, right? It's so visual. It describes not just the object, but the forgotten resolution itself. See, the real challenge isn't making the promise, is it? The hard part is this next bit, learning to stick to something. That's it. It just means you keep going, you persist, you don't give up. You can almost think of it like glue, right? The whole goal is to make your actions stick to your intentions, day in and day out.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little. We're moving from those internal promises to more external actions. And this brings us to our next ritual, self-care. And you guessed it, this has its own special vocabulary, all for that simple but oh so important act of just treating yourself well.
And a perfect example of this is the phrase, to pamper myself. I mean, doesn't that just sound nice? To pamper someone is to totally indulge them, to treat them with extra special care and attention. So when we say we're going to do it for ourselves, it's really about claiming a moment of pure luxury. Maybe it's a spa day, or, as we're about to see, a trip to the nail salon.
So let's break down the specific language of a manicure. It's a really precise process when you think about it. First, they file the nails to get that perfect shape. Then, they remove the cuticles. That's that tiny little layer of skin right at the base. And finally, they apply coats of nail polish. You see? Every single step has its own specific verb, its own action.
And let's just zoom in on that word coat for a second. We're obviously not talking about a jacket you wear. In this world, a coat is a single, distinct layer of color. And a great manicure, right? It often needs 2, maybe even 3 coats to get that really deep, rich finish. It's just a super precise term for a very precise action. All right, let's zoom out a bit. We're going to go from those personal rituals to the ones we share with others, the communal ones. Think about it. Celebrations and holidays are built on tradition. And those traditions, they're built with a very specific shared vocabulary.
Let's take the centerpiece of a classic Christmas tradition. It's not just any tree, is it? It's very specifically a pine tree. And what makes it so special? Well, for one, it has needles instead of leaves. And then there's that smell, that distinctive, festive smell that just instantly fills the whole house with that holiday feeling. You know what I'm talking about.
And what's the main event with the tree? You decorate it. This is the core action of the whole ritual. The entire point is to take this plain tree and completely transform it, making it beautiful and festive to mark this really special time of year.
And of course, decorating requires a whole set of specific tools. You hang ornaments, and some of those might be family heirlooms passed down for generations. Then you add the lights to make the whole thing just sparkle and shine. And you can't forget the stockings, hung by the chimney, just full of anticipation. See, each word isn't just a label, it holds a little piece of the tradition's meaning.
Okay, for our last section, let's explore something a little different. How does this secret language work not just in planned rituals, but in totally unexpected situations? Like, say, when you're traveling. Because sometimes the right words at the right time can literally turn a huge problem into a fantastic perk.
It usually starts with this one simple word, a mix-up. A mix-up is just that, a confusion, a misunderstanding, a mistake. Maybe your reservation got lost, or they gave you the wrong type of room. It's that one little word that signals, uh-oh, something has gone wrong here.
So a really common cause for a hotel mix-up is when the hotel is overbooked. This literally means they've sold more rooms than they actually have. They are completely full, and then some. Now, that sounds like a total disaster for your trip, right?
But this is where the magic can happen. On one side, you've got the problem. Your standard room is gone. But on the other side, you get the solution, a complimentary upgrade. Complimentary is just a fancy word for free. And an upgrade means they give you something way better, a bigger, fancier, more expensive room for absolutely no extra cost.
And that is what leads to this moment of pure, unfiltered joy. Woohoo! Presidential suite, baby! All of a sudden, your problem, that dreaded mix-up, has completely transformed into the best part of your entire trip. And it's all thanks to that one magical phrase, complimentary upgrade.
So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? Well, from the resolutions we struggle to stick with, to the manicures that pamper us, and yeah, even to those surprise hotel upgrades that make our day, it's the specific words we use that give shape and meaning to everything we experience. It's like this secret language that helps us navigate our lives.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. Take a minute and think about your own life, your own routines and traditions, whether they're big or small. What is the secret language of your favorite ritual?